Good morning, Unity of Tustin. Hi, Bill. How are you? Thanks for that greeting. Good morning, everyone. My name is Todd Bopel, and it's my privilege to serve on your board as treasurer and to do the announcements for this week. So good morning and welcome. Aren't we blessed to have this incredible weather, especially when you look around the country and see what everyone else is dealing with? And we are unbelievably lucky and have been for most of the summer, actually. It's been really incredible. So it's great to have everyone here and enjoying this wonderful outdoors. Welcome to our musical guest, Chiara Solar. Thank you so much for that beautiful prelude. Yeah, she'll be gifting us with lovely harp music throughout the service. And of course, Craig Stephen Phillips is doing our talk today. Craig, good to see you. Just a couple announcements. First of all, September 12th, Sunday, September 12th, immediately after the service, we will be holding our annual membership meeting. So that's kind of our State of the Union address where we, the board, let you all, the community, know what's going on and give you a rundown on things like finances and campus projects. Those two are directly related, if you hadn't figured that out. But what have we done on campus? And there's a lot to report there if you haven't been paying attention. A lot of great things have been happening with campus repairs and campus upkeep and other projects. We'll go through the finances in some detail. We'll talk about what's happening on all the different ministry programs and give you a lot of updates. We're going to hold that Sunday the 12th after the service here on campus, but it'll also be available via Zoom. So if you'd rather connect to that meeting virtually, you will be able to. And if you'd rather attend in person, you will be able to. So we'll be doing that as a hybrid meeting. Everyone is welcome to attend, whether you're a member of the church officially or not. However, we do need a quorum of members to attend. So if you are a member of the church, we ask you that you really, really pay attention to that date and try to attend if you can, because we do need to have a quorum of our membership in order for it to count as our annual meeting, and that is an important thing in our bylaws. So please, if you can attend, and if you are a member, we especially ask that you do. But if you're not a member and are just interested in what's happening in the community, we would love to have you attend as well. Secondly, Chiara is starting a new class this Thursday from 6:30 to 8 online via Zoom. Will be her class on spiral dynamics. If you have not studied spiral dynamics in the past, I would really urge you to participate. And if you have studied it, it's still a great time to come back and get reconnected. Spiral dynamics is this unbelievable system of human consciousness. It's one of those incredible things that works at both a micro and a macro level. So micro for the individual human as you go through your own life and your own stages of development, and then macro for all of humanity as we all develop and evolve together. And the system really explains both micro and macro in a way that is incredibly powerful. It was one of those mind-blowing things that really gave me an entirely new perspective when I first sort of dug into it about 10 years ago. But it's really an awesome system, and Chiara will be diving deep into that. It's about understanding how various worldviews are coherent with their corresponding values. It's about increasing our capacity to respond with compassion. And how to be the healthiest version of ourselves and maintain the dignity for those with whom we disagree. And really special attention will be placed on how we understand and relate to spirit at various levels of consciousness. So really, really important course. So this Thursday, it's going to go for 4 weeks. So the first course is this Thursday, and then the following 3 Thursdays after that, starting at 6:30 p.m. And then last but definitely not least, because Craig will be doing a meditation intensive next Sunday after service at 1 p.m. So from 1 to 3 p.m. in the sanctuary, we will be holding a meditation intensive. So if you would like to come and get into meditation and either deepen your existing practice or even begin a practice, the title of the intensive is The Ease of Meditation. So I know if you've been listening to Craig the last few months, that resonates because he talks about just letting ourselves let these things happen, right? So it's going to be a great course for a couple of hours of deep meditation, so we invite all of you to come if you're available. It's a suggested love offering of $25 next Sunday, so please plan to spend the afternoon with us. And with that, I will turn it over to Annette to open the service.
Good morning, Unity. It's a beautiful day here, and it's time to sit back in your chairs, open yourself, breathe, open your consciousness. find spirit within. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you, Annette. Good morning, everyone. My name is Arnie Brzezinski. I'm one of your prayer chaplains here at Unity Church of Tustin. And today it's my honor to light the Christ candle and to recite the daily word. And as we light the Christ candle, it rekindles the Christ light in us and allows us to recognize the Christ light in everyone. Let there be light. Yes. Okay. Today's word is joy. I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment. And our passage from scriptures today, Thessalonians 5, paragraph 16, very simple. Rejoice always. Joy is the call of my heart. Whether I'm at work or play, I bring a spirit of joyfulness to everything I do. More than a mood or an attitude, joy is a part of me and mine to live and to share. Like all aspects of my divine identity, joy flowers in my consciousness when I hold joyful thoughts and feelings. I express my joy as the excitement of anticipation, fascination at a new discovery, deep satisfaction in a relationship, and the tranquil glow of communing with God in prayer. My joy is contagious, and I love to share in it. I have feelings of joy when I take part in friends or family members' joyous moments, these celebrations and accomplishments. I feel quiet joy when I offer encouragement, and even when I give comfort, grateful to share the care and love of God. And today's affirmation, I'll say once, and then I'll ask you to repeat it with me. I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment. Together, I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment.
Let's close our eyes and feel the sacred here with us in this moment. And for the prayer today, we'll be listening to a prayer, the words of Chief Yellowlark of the Lakota Sioux, written in 1887. O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears sharp to your voice. Make me wise so that I understand the things you have taught my people. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. Help me remain calm and strong in the face of all that comes towards me. I seek strength, not to be greater than my brother, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame. Hallelujah. Any of you, those of you that don't know the title of that song, written by the late, great Leonard Cohen, who I must say was a Zen Buddhist, is called Hallelujah. Very, very beautiful, even without the words. You know? So let's close our eyes for a moment and enter the sacred space of meditation. Get a sense today as you close your eyes that you're already sitting in the sacred. Feel your feet on the earth. And realize in this moment you are in the sacred place on this beautiful earth. The sacred space is right where you're sitting. In Taoism, this is called the Wuchi Circle, the center of the universe. Right where you sit today. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to wander and search. You're immersed in it right at this moment. Feel yourself today being held by the earth. And let yourself become very, very still for just this moment. If we are truly still, we can feel the energy of Mother Earth. If we are truly still, we can feel our interconnection with the source of our very life, which is Mother Earth. Let yourself rest completely in the hands, the lap of the Mother this morning. And as you rest, listen now. Listen very, very deeply to the sounds of the earth around you. The sound of the sacred breeze, the sound of the water, and if you're listening deeply, the sound of the trees, the voice of the trees. Listen as if with every cell in your voice and in your body this morning. And as you listen deeply now, feel your sacred breath. Breathe open. This morning, celebrate your breath as the greatest gift that you're given in each moment. Feel it fully. Be absorbed as the breath. And without needing to think about it, feel the deep connection with Mother Earth through your breath. Knowing that your very life force, the breath you're taking now, is coming directly from the earth, from the trees, through the breeze. Breathe that sacred gift into your sacred body, which is also made of the elements of the earth. And know that you are ever connected to the earth through your breath. Can you feel the sacred presence here in this moment? Can you feel it in your breath, on the breeze, radiating from the earth into your body? And yes, in the sound of the plane overhead. We're told by the Native Americans that everything is sacred. Everything is arising from the Great Spirit and filled with the Great Spirit. And that includes you. As we come toward the end of the meditation, this part of the meditation, let's listen deeply to these words from Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Words that were spoken a number of years ago as the governments of the world came together to discuss climate change. We need to change our way of thinking and seeing things. We need to realize that the earth is not just our environment. The earth is not something outside of us. Breathing with mindfulness and contemplating your body, you realize that you are the earth. You realize that your consciousness is also the consciousness of the earth. When you realize that the earth is so much more than simply your environment, you'll be moved to protect her in the same way as you would protect yourself. This is the kind of awareness we need, the kind of awakening we need right now. And the future of the planet depends on whether or not we'll be able to cultivate this insight or not. The earth and all species on the earth are in real danger. Yet if we develop a deep relationship with the earth, we will have enough love, strength, and awakening in order to change our way of life, in order to save the planet, and thus ourselves. Please breathe these words in very, very deeply today. Breathe the breath, the gift that's being given to you right now by the trees on the earth. The great gift of our life. Which is happening through the energy and grace of the earth. I'd like to read some words from Lao Tzu that were written about 2,400 years ago. That are a reflection and are one with the words of Thich Nhat Hanh 2,400, 2,500 years later. Listen deeply. In harmony with the Tao, the sky is clear and spacious. The earth is solid and full. All creatures flourish together, content with the way they are, endlessly repeating themselves, endlessly renewed. When man interferes with the Tao, the sky becomes filthy. The earth becomes depleted. The equilibrium crumbles. Creatures become extinct. As we contemplate these words and the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, would you say in your own experience that human beings are in harmony with the earth at this time? How about you? Do you feel in harmony? Do you feel your oneness with your very life? That which is giving you breath right now. Just open and see. Thich Nhat Hanh has said that when you become very still now, you can hear the earth crying. I was moved to speak about this today because some of you may be aware that last week, the IPCC, which is a group of over 100 scientists, released their latest report on the state of the Earth's health. If you have not looked at what the results were, I encourage you, when you go home or sometime this week, look. You don't have to read the whole report. Read what they have to say. Because if you read with an open heart what they have to say, it will open your consciousness and awareness to the predicament and the dire circumstances that human beings now find themselves on this beautiful jewel. Many of you have been aware of this for many, many years already. What we hear in the report is, yes, it's worse than we thought. We have no more time. The time is now for action. To ignore this, we do it at our own peril. In the report, it says that if you think it's been interesting this last 10 years, just wait. More is coming. And it will be worse than what we believed it would be. It's like the earth has had a physical, and the doctors tell us, the earth is very, very sick right now. Out of balance, as Lao Tzu said. This is not speculation. This is the truth. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, only by bringing this into our awareness now can we be able to face it honestly and do what we can do from here. Denial will not work. It was interesting, after the report came out, there were many politicians who said, well, what about our economies? What will we do economically? This is all that I'm going to say about this. I'm going to read a Cree proverb, and that will be what I have to say. Only when the last tree has died and the last river been poisoned and the last fish been caught will we realize we cannot eat money. Right after this report came out, it affected me on a deep level, because I'll tell all of you I was going to speak about something else today. But I knew in my heart that I wanted to speak about this because it was what I was called to do. Because of my love for the earth, for the love of my mother who gives me my breath and my life. And wouldn't you know, right within 24 hours of this news, I came across a beautiful video on YouTube. And I encourage all of you to look at this. It was from a Native American elder named Floyd Red Crow Westerman, who was part of the Sioux tribe. But in this little talk, it was an excerpt of a talk he gave while he was alive. He died a few years ago, but things were already happening the way they are now. He spoke about the Hopi Prophecy, about the times that we live in now. And he said that this is a time of prophecy. He said that for the Indian, this is a time of purification. That's the time we're in now. Purification. This will eventually lead to a time of renewal, but we are not there yet. And as he spoke about this connection to the Hopi Prophecy, it reminded me of a beautiful teaching that I received many years ago from my own dear Taoist teacher. Isn't it amazing that this is not just the native elders or the indigenous peoples talking about this? This is the indigenous people and the spiritual leaders of all world paths have been speaking about this and pleading with us for thousands of years to take care of Mother Earth. Because as the earth goes, we go. Many years ago, my late great Taoist teacher, Stephen Russell, who was known as the Barefoot Doctor, when he was a young man and he was learning the path of Taoism, he was in New Mexico and he stayed there for some time became friends with a lot of the elders there. He became friends with a man named Thomas Banyaka. You can look him up on YouTube. He was an elder of the Hopi tribe and a keeper of their prophecy, so he knew what was in it. This prophecy was written a long time ago about the times that we're living through right now. And by the way, the Tibetan Buddhists have a prophecy like this that was written by Padmasambhava 2,000 years ago or so. The Vedas talk about this time. Many indigenous cultures have pointed to this time, and what we're going through right now is a great spiritual transformation. So, Thomas Banyaka gave my dear teacher, Stephen Russell, a commentary on the Hopi Prophecy. A little bit of this prophecy has been released. I'm going to read a little bit of this in a moment. What we know officially came from the elders way back. They release a little at a time. Usually after a portend happens, they release it and say, this is what it meant. Not beforehand, so that we're not thinking about it too much. So he gave this to my dear teacher, Stephen Russell, and I'd like to share it with you tonight. As far as I know, it was Stephen that brought this to the West through Thomas Banyaka. So please, as you listen to this today, as you contemplate your place on the earth and you contemplate where we are as a collective at this particular moment, listen to these words as a meditation. See how they resonate in you. I know that when I heard them for the first time, they moved me greatly and deeply. And so I read these words at least once a year to the Tao tribe, my little community of meditation practitioners, just as a reminder of where we are. Here's the commentary on the prophecy. Please listen deeply. We have been telling people that this is the 11th hour. It is time to speak your truth. Create your community. Be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for the leader. There is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try and hold onto the shore. They will feel that they are being torn apart and they will suffer greatly. Know that the river has a destination. The elders say that we must let go of the shore, push off and into the river, and keep our eyes open and our heads above water. See who is there with us and celebrate. At this time in history, take nothing personally, least of all yourselves. For the moment you do, your spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we have been waiting for. I'm almost sorry that I'm going to speak now beyond those words because they're so powerful, aren't they? The 11th hour is here. No more time. We may be wondering as we move through these challenges, what can we do on an individual basis? And we find here a great recipe. Red Crow talked about the same thing in his talk. It is time, if we are present, to reconnect to the Great Spirit in every living thing. Be still, as Thich Nhat Hanh has said. They're all pointing to the same thing. Reconnect to the Spirit in every living thing and everyone that you meet as you move through your day. Red Crow said, for those that do not have this connection to Spirit, they will be swept away. Which echoes what is here in the Hopi Prophecy. For those that are holding on to the past, the old ways, the old beliefs, they will feel like they are being torn apart. Maybe some of you feel like that now in your mind with everything that is happening, the pressure on the human ego right now to awaken. Eckhart Tolle has said that if you want to know the condition of the earth and why it has come to this, we need look no further than the human mind. What you see happening out here, the destruction of our natural environment, is a direct reflection of the human mind. Now is the time, these elders say, to reconnect with Spirit, the Spirit and the sacredness in everything that we meet. Out of that connection with the earth, your life will flow. The choices that you make individually will come out of that connection to the earth. We all know, I could sit here for an hour to talk about the things we can do individually as we face these challenges. Challenges aren't even the right word anymore, are they? We know what we can do. For those of you that are meditating and connected to the earth, you know that every choice you make every day impacts your natural environment and thus your fellow human being. From the car you drive, to the diet you eat, to the person you vote for. All of that impacts what we're talking about today. I'm not a political person anymore, but if I have to sum up my politics, I give my vote and my energy to those who are speaking about this, because nothing else matters, does it? Our life is dependent on whether or not we rise to this occasion and save the earth. Many elders have said, really, it's not even a question of saving the earth, because if we decline, in a few years after we're gone, the earth will rejuvenate and become the beautiful jewel that it was again. We're really saving ourselves. That's what this time is really about. So there is that which we can do individually if we are honest. That which we can do collectively out of what we do individually. And most important, what we can do is what Thich Nhat Hanh said in the beginning teaching. Every day we can be still. We can be still now. We can come back to our connection to our mother, to this sacred stillness that is here now, radiating from the earth. We can connect to our sacred breath that is giving us our very life. As Red Crow says in his talk, isn't it amazing that when you breathe the exhale from the trees. And when you exhale, the tree breathes that in. Look around at what we're doing to the forests, what's happening to the forests, not just here in the West, globally. They're having fires that they've never had, in places they've never had them before. Literally burning down the lungs of the earth, our breath. By the way, interesting fact, 1 out of 3 to 4 breaths you're taking today comes from the Amazon. Breathe that in. And yet 2 weeks ago, it was said that the Amazon is no longer giving off, it is no longer taking out the carbon from the air anymore. It is actually giving more carbon out instead of oxygen. There's our sacred connection number one. Sacred connection number two, he said, is the water we drink. All of us are acutely aware of water now, aren't we? Here it is. The crisis is upon us. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know anymore. Water is not a given. The elixir of life, we're not sure what's going to happen here with our water supply. All of this can bring us to a consciousness so that we move, as Thich Nhat Hanh said, into a consciousness of what we do that impacts the earth. The greatest thing that we can do is be still every day and listen and feel our connection to the divine source. Feel the sacred in everything and everyone as we sit together today on the breeze. As you breathe in, breathing the spirit of the earth, the Holy Spirit. Spirituality is not a running away and putting our heads in the ground. Spirituality is a bearing witness to what is happening now and holding it in a space of higher consciousness. When we do that, our actions will come out of that, won't they? What we do, who we support, where we move, will come out of that deep connection. As I've said, for me, there's no other issue now. This is it. And out of that connection, we can come to our spiritual practice not only for ourselves, but for the very source of our life. This very oneness that we feel in this present moment to this that is giving us life. As we close our eyes to come to a little more meditation toward the end here, I'll read just a little bit of the Hopi Prophecy that we do know is part of the prophecy. Please breathe this deeply into your hearts today. When the earth is ravaged and the animals are dying, a new tribe of people shall come unto the earth from many colors, creeds, and classes, and who by their actions and deeds shall make the earth green again. They shall be known as the warriors of the rainbow. As we become still in this moment again, remember the words of the commentary of the Hopi Prophecy. Gather with those in the center of the river. See who's there with you. Feel your community today. The time of the lone wolf is over. In other words, it's no longer about going off and getting away from all this or avoiding it, going off and meditating in a hut on the top of a mountain. No. Time to push off from the shore. Go into the middle of the great river of the Tao and see who is there with you. Gather with those. Celebrate. It's clear to me from listening to these native elders, to the Buddhist elders, that this is not a time for despair. This is not a time to hang our heads and say there's nothing we can do. This is a time to gather with those of like mind and spirit, meditate, live our life from this higher consciousness, which will come into every facet of our life. Go with the flow of the river. Harness its power. Be present to what is unfolding. Bear witness to what is unfolding here and now. You're here for a reason. You didn't land here by accident at this time. Each of us plays a role in this, and you're hearing this today because you do have a role in that. Let's feel again as we, in the meditation, of the sacred connection of our body to the earth. Acknowledge that your body exists because of the earth. As you feel that connection, feel your sacred breath again, fresh and new, coming from the trees of the earth. Breathe open to that sacred connection. You're never alone. And in the stillness that arises, the answers are always there. If you're quiet enough and you're listening, you will hear the Mother speaking to you. Can you hear? And as we come toward the end of the meditation, let's listen to these words from Leslie Marmon Silko from the Laguna Pueblo tribe. Being born as humans to this earth is a very sacred trust. We have a sacred responsibility because of the special gift we have, which is beyond the fine gifts of the plant life, the fish, the woodlands, the birds, and all other living creatures on the earth. Because of this, we are able to take care of them. If all of us and all living things on the planet are to continue, we who still remember how we must live must join together.
Thank you so much, Craig. We've come to the time of receiving our tithes and our love offerings. But first, we'd like to welcome anyone who might be here for the very first time. At Unity of Tustin, we acknowledge that there's one God, one heart, but many paths. So wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Is there anyone here for the very first time? And if so, would you be willing to raise your hand? Welcome. If you'll keep your hand raised, our ushers will come to find you. We're so glad that you're here today. They're going to bring you a welcome packet. Again, keep your hands raised as they look for you. Thank you. And inside that welcome packet, you'll find a name tag. If you'll fill out the name tag and put it on, it'll help us to connect with you after the service. And also inside your welcome packet, there's an information card. So if you'd like to be added to our mailing list and stay connected with us, if you'd fill that out and place it in the love offering bags as they come along, we'll be able to stay connected with you. Likewise, if you're joining us for the first time online, if you'll send an email to unity@unitytustin.org, we'd like to send you some welcome information as well. we consider you our guest today, so it's not necessary for you to participate in our tithes and love offerings. I just want to take a moment to remind us of all the different ways that we can give to Unity of Tustin. In addition to placing your check in the love offering bags as they get passed, you can text a donation to 714-831-5606. You can use your credit card at our kiosk on the patio after the service. You can also go onto our website. There's a donate button right on the homepage where you can place a recurring gift or an individual one-time gift. And if you have any questions about any of those ways, you can connect with Mary Jean or myself after the service. The last few weeks I've been highlighting some of the different ways of where we give out into our community, and we received a thank you email this week from Unity Southwest Region, because that's one of the programs that we support here. The Unity Southwest Region is in Southern California and Arizona and Nevada. And so it's, again, an example of all the ways that our churches and our movement are connected, both here and beyond. So if you'll take your love offering and place it in your hands, or if you give in other ways, if you'd like to place your hand on your heart, together we will say our love offering blessing. Together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And as our ushers do collect those tithes and love offerings, Chiara has another gift. So beautiful. Thank you, Chiara. So we take a moment to hold our love offerings and say a quick blessing. Beloved oneness, we are in deep gratitude for all that we have received, and we open our hearts and our minds in that deep gratitude, knowing that we will be divinely guided to know how best to support our Mother Earth on these grounds right here, Unity of Tustin, our ministry, and our community out beyond. And so it is. Amen. Before closing, just want to remind you that Todd, our board member, will be at the glass table after the service if you have any questions for a board member. And our prayer chaplains will be over at the entrance to the meditation gardens. If there's a concern or a gratitude that you'd like to share in prayer, our prayer chaplains will be there to do that with you. And also to answer any questions if you have questions about our upcoming remembrance ceremony, which will be September 19th. They'll be there to talk with you about that as well. And now let's just come together to close and say Unity's prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go forth into this week remembering and honoring that interconnectedness of all life. And so it is. Amen.